Hey guys, and welcome to the Watchtower Watch Reviews with your host DK, and today we are looking at a Citizen Promaster Land GMT, which I would think is actually the perfect modern pilot watch. Now, if you're looking for a pilot watch, realistically what you're looking for in the days of old was easily legible, luminous under dark conditions, and you want it to be resilient and tough and durable. So you had the likes of the Fliegers for the German World War II pilots, you have the likes of the sort of ball pilots watches, things like that. And now, I think in a modern day and age, what you need is something that will track where you are in the world, it will track your home time zone, and it would also allow you to tell the time zone of any country that you're going to arrive in. And that's where this Citizen Promaster Land GMT comes into, because it also has a world time bezel. So, let's take a look at this and see if it's a watch that I think you guys should pick up. Alright, so this is the Citizen Promaster Land GMT. So the model number is BJ7100-82E. I'll drop it down in the description below. I got this one off eBay. I paid €183, and then there was some import fees as well of €16, bringing it up to just under 200. Inside in this little cardboard case, you have a cardboard sleeve covering it, you have the watch itself, you have the spare links which I've taken out myself there, you can see there's 4 links, you had a couple of hang tags that were attached to the watch, and you have an instruction manual all in Japanese. I believe this is a Japanese domestic model. I don't believe these are made for Europe or for the Americas, so you do have to import them from Japan, but I could be wrong. So dimensions on this one, it is 42mm by my measurements. At the crown you're looking at 46.5mm, that crown does protrude quite a bit. Lug tip to lug tip is 48.5, helped as well by those female end links, so it does just flow into the case of the watch. Lug width is 22mm with the bracelet tapering down to 17.8, back up to 22.3 at the widest part of the clasp where the actual closer is. The thickness is 13.4mm, quite unusual for what is essentially a quartz watch, and the weight with all links in is 172 grams, and with 4 links removed from my 7-inch wrist, you're coming in at 156 grams. Specs on this one, well, it is all 316L brushed stainless steel. So you have brushed on the case, you have brushed on the crown, except for that little bit of the logo there polished. You have a brushed bezel and a brushed bracelet as well. The bracelet, speaking of, has female end links which are solid. They flow nicely into the case with a small bit of an edge to them. You can also see there that this is a push pin bracelet for resizing. You have a solid milled clasp with a safety clasp over the top and a double pusher release. The clasp as well is signed on the inside, you can see there, signed with Citizen stainless steel. The clasp itself has 3 levels of micro adjust and no diver's extension, because technically this isn't a diver's watch, it is a world time watch. In order to use the world time bezel, it is a friction bezel, so there is no clicks. What you do is you simply slide it along to with the time zone you want. So let's say in Ireland it is 6 o'clock. So I move it to London, which is the home time zone, to 1800. I can then tell in Paris it is 1900, in Athens it is 2000, and so on and so forth, allowing you to set the time and tell you it in any time zone. It's a flat mineral crystal, no anti-reflective coating on it, and you do not get sapphire for this one, and there is no distortion on that dial. What you do get is a signed screw down crown, though, signed with that Promaster Land logo. Unfortunately, you do not get any lume on the bezel, so you can't actually use this one for diving, despite having 200 meters water resistance. The movement inside is a Citizen Eco Drive GMT. The caliber is the B877. It is solar powered, so it's a quartz powered by the solar, and it gives you 6 months of power reserve on a full charge. In order to operate it, unscrew the crown. First setting does nothing. Second setting allows you to set that date at 3 o'clock. Or to set the time zone as well. So you use the time zone to jump the hour hand there. You can see there, you turn it away from yourself and it jumps along. So you can use this to set the time to the one that you actually want to track locally, and then you use the orange hand to track your home time zone. So it's a small bit different to some of the other world time watches and GMTs that I've had on before. If we take a look at the macro, you can see it is an all printed dial. So Citizen Eco Drive printed under the 12 o'clock. You can see there all the even ones are the Arabics and all the odd numbers are indices. They're just a single baton indice for all of them. You can see there as well a printed 24-hour track going around the chapter ring as well. framed date window at 3 o'clock. It is not colour matched, it's in white rather than black. You can also see a difference between the blacks. That's because the lighter black is where the Eco Drive conducts light and powers the movement. GMT world time and the Promaster land logo down there at 6 o'clock. And you can see as well that the second hand is hitting all the indices, which is expected for an Eco Drive, but it's still nice to see that the quality control on this one has not been let slip, unlike some other of the major Japanese brands. You can also see there as well on the bezel, it's a stainless steel printed bezel, so it's engraved and then filled in black ink. And here it is on a nice sunny day in Ireland, out on my 7-inch wrist. You can see there that bracelet. I think people have described it to me as a president style bracelet. Not sure about that. It's very nice though, whatever it is. Flows down into the wrist, as I said, thanks to those female end links. Really comfortable on as well. This is one of my most comfortable watches, especially at the below like 500 price point. However, if you don't like the bracelet, you could throw it on a NATO. This is an AliExpress one that I got. However, be aware that if you're putting it on a NATO, it is already a fairly thick watch, and adding a NATO is going to be about another 2 mils. So this is entering into Vostok territory of about 15 millimeters thick, but it does suit the watch quite nicely. If you don't want to add thickness, but you do want to change it up, how about this? This is a super waffle strap from Strapsco. They sent me 3 straps for free. I do not have to send them back, so thank you very much, Strapsco. It's a very nice strap. It's a little bit rugged, so it's not as comfortable as some of the other silicone straps I have, but it is significantly more durable, and it does have quick release spring bars, and it looks fantastic on this Citizen. You could also have this. This is a Ritchie watch band that I got from them. Again, they sent me these for free. I do not have to send them back, so take from that what you will. This is a Zulu strap. It's very nice. It's actually really nice seatbelt kind of material. Very comfortable. Quite silky actually to the touch, and very easy to wear. However, again, maybe not with this watch, just because you are adding thickness to it. And if you are more Air Force commander than perhaps pilot, maybe you want to dress it up for formal occasions, stick it on some black leather. This is a cheapy AliExpress leather strap. It is genuine leather though, and it suits the watch really well. I think this strap and this watch go well together, and I think really if you are pairing this watch with anything other than a bracelet, stick with black. Take a look at the glow off that lume. So you can see there is a difference between the hands and the actual indices and the Arabics, but that's the way you want it. So the first thing that you will see start to fade is the outside numbers. That is to be expected. However, I will say this, on the camera it always shows up worse than in actual to my eye. You can see there as well the minute hand not quite as well loomed as the hour and the GMT, and the second hand is still hanging on there as well. I think it does a fairly good job. This is 15 minutes of test footage sped up. I gave it about 2 minutes of light from my UV torch just to charge it up and give it a fair shot. And even in the actual natural light, or should I say in person, you know, I thought it performed a lot better than it does on camera. And even on camera it's pretty good. So what are my likes and dislikes on this one? Well, the first thing I'm going to say is that this watch is incredibly legible. Even without anti-reflective coating, pretty much at every angle, you can see exactly what's going on with this one. The chapter ring does help as well, so that even if you can't see the numbers or the indices, you can probably see the chapter ring and some of the hands, which will allow you to tell the time. You might not be able to tell the GMT part, but you will be able to tell the actual time. Another thing I like as well is the fact that this one does not wear too light. So if you're a person like me and you don't tend to like quartz dive watches, the fact that this has all stainless steel construction, solid links, solid end links and a milled clasp just gives it that bit of heft to make you feel like you're wearing a proper, well-built watch. The other thing I like is the fact that it's an Eco Drive, so it is a quartz watch powered by solar movement. It's very handy in that respect. It's a great grab and go. You can put this one at night time, or you can leave it on at night going to bed. You can wear it when you get up in the morning, and you don't ever have to worry about, you know, winding it or making sure it's charged up. It is always going to be charged up once you've seen any kind of light source. The other thing I like as well, it has real potential for a 1-watch collection. You've got the fact you've got a GMT hand, you've got the fact that it is a world time watch, you've got the fact that it's no nonsense, it's quartz, you've got the fact that it's all stainless steel, it's brushed, you've got a nice bracelet on it, 200 meters of water resistance, so you don't have to be afraid of getting it wet. It really does offer you a hell of a lot for not a whole lot of money. The other thing I like as well is the fact that I am a sucker for a world time bezel, even though it's not the most useful complication in the days of mobile phones and the fact that you can get, you can look up what time it is anywhere in the world. I really like this throwback to an age when this is how you had to tell the time in other time zones. You needed a world time bezel and you needed a GMT hand. And I still like the fact that I can tell, even if I'll never need to know what time it is in Honolulu, I'll still be able to use this watch and it will tell me exactly what time it is. So what are my dislikes on this one? Well, it does only have mineral crystals, so again, the usual provision. It'll scratch up a lot easier, but it will not shatter than sapphire. I don't really ever scratch any of my watches anyway, so to be honest, as much as a benefit this is, I don't think it's that big a deal. The downside of this one is the fact that there is no lume pip, so you can't use it for diving, and there's no even cities loomed on this one. I would have thought it was awesome if you actually loomed all the cities. I know it wouldn't be the most useful thing because you don't need to know what it is at each time in the night, but it's something cool. Also, the chapter ring is not loomed. You do get a very good glow off the number, so you can pretty much tell for a good hour or 2 hours afterwards what time it is on the GMT, but it's not, it's not an all-night thing that you can do. The other thing is, this is a really thick watch for a quartz. It's something that I did mention in the actual specs, but it's really thick, and I think that might put some people off. If you're looking for a quartz dive watch for the thinness and for the lack of weight, I'm not so sure that this is the one for you. Don't let that put you off though, because a milled clasp, solid bracelet, solid end links, GMT, world time for under 200 is something that is very hard to come by. So guys, there you have it, my review of the Citizen Promaster Land GMT. A fantastic watch. I kind of had this one sitting in my cart for about a month. Kept going back and forth on whether I was going to pick it up, and at a month's time I still ended up thinking I was in love with the watch, so I bought it, and honestly it's barely come off my wrist since. It's a great weight, it's a great look, it's a great feel. The bracelet's a perfect fit for me. It flows down nicely into the wrist, and it's got so much functionality as well. And if you just want a watch where you don't have to think about what you're wearing the next day, you can just put it on at night or put it on in the morning, leave it on your wrist all day, leave it on as you go to sleep. It's light enough and it's fitted enough that you wouldn't need to take it off, and you can just carry it on as if it's a one watch collection. And I really do think it has potential to be a one watch collection because of the fact that it's got a GMT hand, so you can track second time zones. It's got 200 meters of water resistance, so you don't have to worry about getting it wet. It's stainless steel. It's all solid links, so it won't pull all the hairs off your arm, and it goes with a number of different outfits. So hopefully you enjoyed the review. If you have, make sure to like, comment and subscribe. Leave me a note down below and let me know if you liked the watch as well. I've been your host DK. This has been the Watchtower Watch Reviews, and I will see you guys next time.